Hello and welcome to this edition of Jerusalem Dateline. I'm Julie Stahl, filling in for Chris Mitchell. We're coming to you from the old city of Jerusalem. Behind me is the Temple Mount and the Western Wall. Palestinians continued their third week of terror attacks against Israel. Now, the most vicious group in the Middle East is stirring up more violence. ISIS released a video encouraging Palestinians to carry out more terror attacks. Chris Mitchell has that story.
The recent wave of terrorism in Israel shows signs of copying ISIS tactics, like their beheading videos. That's what Israeli Infrastructure Minister Yuval Steinitz told CBN News.
The fact that they are using knives, and coming to people's neck, people trying to cut them or to behead them, I'm confident that at least some of those terrorists were not just indoctrinated, but inspired also from ISIS.
The ISIS production shows Israelis being murdered in terror attacks, praying and crying and being buried. Some of the video is from security cameras of recent attacks. It urges Palestinians to use knives, explosives, and poison to kill Israelis. It also shows ISIS clips of murdering individuals. Former Israeli Shin Bet Secret Service official Lior Acum said ISIS doesn't exist here as an organization in the Palestinian areas, but they would if they could.
They are trying to take an advantage on what happens here. They will do any effort to send terrorists inside and to put a stamp that ISIS entered here.
Acum told CBN News that social media has paved the way.
I think that because of the social networks, the easy access to sites of ISIS abroad, every Palestinian who opens a computer can obviously go and say that he now belongs to ISIS, to learn what to do and to take further instructions to execute some terror attacks in Israel.
ISIS has been calling for the past year and a half at least for Western Muslims in particular to rise up and kind of become these one-man jihads.
Many of the Palestinians who are carrying out the recent terror attacks seem to be acting on their own. CBN News terrorism analyst Eric Steckelbeck says the lone wolf nature of the attackers is also a sign of the ISIS influence.
Now what we're seeing in Jerusalem, in Hebron, are Palestinians, basically an army of lone wolves carrying out just random, spur of the moment in some cases, stabbing and shooting and rock throwing and terror attacks. Rioting
Palestinians also set fire to the tomb of the biblical patriarch Joseph in Nablus. Palestinians have attacked holy sites for years, long before ISIS arose. And Palestinian Authority Chairman Mahmoud Abbas condemned that attack. But Steckelbeck said it's just like what ISIS does.
They want to erase any signs of biblical history or Christianity or Judaism, the Old Testament, the New Testament. They want to erase them and eradicate them from the face of the earth and from the memory of the earth.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News.